Hey there, Jim Johnson from Accent Help here, and I wanted to talk about some terms that I think might be useful for you, even though they're a little, hoity-toity, a little fancy for this. They're really good, I think, for conceptually understanding accents and differences. So the three terms, and I'll throw them out real quick, are Acrolect, Basilect, and Mesolect. Like I said, it's a little bit fancy pants, but what an acrolect is, in general, is it's looked at as the fancier, more desirable accent. So classically, something that's sort of an elevated General American, or something that is RP, Standard British, or something that's much more like cultivated South African or cultivated Australian. That would be something that's looked at commonly as an acrolect, like, ooh, that's the one that's the high end. That's the people with more education. That's the people with more money in general. And then when you're looking at, and I'm using this as the reference point, like the high end and the low end, when you're looking at a Basilect, that is what's commonly referred to for people who don't make as much money, maybe don't have as much education, all that kind of stuff. That would be the stronger, like working class accents. So that would be almost all native speaker accents. So when you're looking at something like a broad Australian accent or a more broad South African accent, when you're looking at something like that, or when you're looking at something like Cockney, or when you're looking at something like Yorkshire, like a stronger Yorkshire sort of accent, when you're looking at like a really broad like Scots or something like that, when you're looking at something that's like a strong sort of Chicago sort of accent, or you look into like a stronger sort of Brooklyn or New York sort of accent, when you're looking at anything that's that strong version of an accent, generally those are what are considered Basilects. And then really where most accents end up is somewhere in the middle as a Mesolect. When you're looking at the fact that I'm from Iowa, and when I was younger, I spoke with a stronger Basilect, but now I speak with something that's more of a Mesolect, a little bit in the middle. And at times when I'm trying to go towards something more elevated that I'm working on, then maybe I'm actually going towards an acrolect, right? The terms themselves are not what's important, but I think the concept that those introduce, I think are really important. I will say when I'm working with someone on an accent, and most of them, again, are going to be Basilects. But even if we're talking about an acrolect, oftentimes I either want to start with that extreme acrolect like RP, or I want to mostly start with the Basilect. Let's go with a really strong version of a Chicago accent. Let's go with a really strong version of more of like a Texas accent, to go real strong like West Texas kind of thing, so that we can start to take that and mellow it out to make it more of a Mesolect where it doesn't stand out so much. So that's the distinction between those. The downside is people usually think a Basilect is someone who's not as intelligent. And that's what I hate, is most people, if they have a stronger accent, it's oftentimes looked at as that. And I would love to dispel that and get rid of it. But it's a common belief, and oftentimes I often find that actors, it helps them if they think of lowering their IQ when they're working on a stronger accent, because it's such an unfortunate stereotype that we have. So there you go. Those concepts, which again, I think it's more important about the concept of those than about actually remembering what those terms are. There you go. For more info on accents, check out accenthelp.com.